Today on Yester Kitchen, we're bringing tradition to the Thanksgiving table, but we're gonna make a pie from one of the masters. You're gonna love it. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Jill and this is Yester Kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. It would be an honor to have you join us as we explore retro history through food. I can't think of a better way. So we are in the middle of our Thanksgiving series, and I've been giving you all these little off the beaten path recipes for your Thanksgiving table, but today we're going traditional. I am gonna give you a pumpkin pie from one of our American legends. But before I get started, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Max. Max's channel, Tasting History, goes way back in time. My history is so modern compared to his. And Max is also making a pumpkin pie from 1670. Isn't that right, Max?
That's right, Jill. I'll be showing you how to make a pumpkin pie from 1670. A pie so old, they hadn't even added the K yet. I'll see you over there.
So when you're done watching this, go check out Max's version of pumpkin pie and tell him Jill said hi. Okay, so today, pumpkin pie from James Beard. He actually calls it rich pumpkin pie, and you will see why in a minute. So James Beard, there he is. Isn't he cute? I just want to hug him. So he was truly an American food pioneer. He was known as America's first foodie. He was also known as the Dean of American Cooking, and both are absolutely right. The man loved food. He loved to eat food, and he was like a walking encyclopedia of food. You could like talk to him about one type of cheese for like 2 hours, and he would have so much to say on the subject. It was truly, truly amazing. One of his achievements, which I bet you didn't know, is he had the very first televised cooking show, I kid you not. Between 1946 and 1947, he had a show called I Love to Eat. Come on, really? But very, very few people saw it because it was in 1946. Most families didn't have TVs. His philosophy was farm to table. He was actually a pioneer when it came to farm to table. He believed in simple, he believed in easy, he believed in the fresh flavors, and he wanted all the ingredients to shine. He wrote over 20 cookbooks and hundreds of articles for newspapers and magazines. He started teaching cooking in the 50s, and his philosophy just took off, and he gained, if he had an Instagram today, he would blow everyone out of the water. So I do have some fabulous James Beard recipes that we're gonna get into more in 2021 and talk more about his life. I mean, just alone, the James Beard Foundation started a year after he passed. They bought his house and preserved it, and now that is the place to go for any chef. Biggest honor in the world to cook at the James Beard House. Biggest honor to eat at the James Beard House. There's also the James Beard Foundation where they give out awards every year for chefs that really exemplify James Beard's philosophy to cooking. Just really, really outstanding chefs. It is a huge honor just to get nominated, let alone win. His philosophy was simple, and so is this pie. You are gonna absolutely love this. Now, if you're looking for other boozy pies, I'll give you a couple. They are just fabulous. So let's talk about crust. The first thing you need is a 9-inch pastry for a pie crust. You can buy pre-made, which is what I did. Come on, it's Thanksgiving. There's so much to do. If you love making crust, go for it. But if it's gonna save you a little bit of time, go ahead. Because you know, at Yester Kitchen, we do like things easy. So we're gonna blind bake this crust. So I already have it done, but essentially what blind baking is you partially bake your crust and you weigh it down so you don't get all those bubbles, you know, that happen while baking. So all you do is you put your crust in, you lay a piece of parchment paper over the top, you fill it completely with dried beans, just one bag will do ya, and you just kind of make sure it's all spread around, and then you're gonna bake it in a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, pull it out, take out your paper and beans, and just let it cool, which is exactly where we are at now. I'm sure James Beard would not be happy about my pre-made crust, but he's gonna be very happy, or he would be very happy, about this pie. Okay, so now we're gonna get this out of the way, and we're gonna bring in our happy little mixing bowl. And now this is gonna go together like that. This is for one pie. You can easily double, triple, quadruple. This stuff is amazing. Okay, so we're gonna start with 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Make sure you buy pumpkin puree and not pumpkin mix, because pumpkin mix already has spices in it and you don't want those. You wanna put your own in. Or if you want, You can bake a pumpkin and get your pumpkin puree that way, but again, easy. Okay, next thing we have is a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Make sure it's packed when you measure your sugar. And here comes the rich part. 1 cup of cream, not milk. You want cream. Oh my goodness, does it get any better? Yes, it does get better because we're gonna keep going. Now I have 3 eggs and we're just gonna beat them just a tiny bit, just so everyone's all mixed together and happy. That's good enough. And into our mixing bowl they go. Now we're going to talk about spices. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and a 1/4 teaspoon of mace. Mace is, let's see, the best I can say is it's like a nutmeg. It tastes like nutmeg, but it's stronger. It really has a taste all its own. You really don't want to substitute nutmeg in this pie for mace. Get mace. You're going to use it in other recipes. It's very warming and wintry and delicious. Trust me on this. Okay. And the last thing, just getting my spatula out so we can get ready to mix. And the last thing to make it boozy, 1/4 cup of brandy or cognac. You pick. Okay. Now what we're going to do, take a guess. Mix it until it's completely blended. It should only take a couple minutes. All right, that's it. We're done. Now, we are gonna bring back our beautiful pie crust. And we have one more quick thing. And by the way, my oven is set at 375, ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna fill this pie crust. Oh, look at that gorgeous pumpkin color. Well, perfect, perfect. The last thing we have is candied ginger. Oh yes, it is gonna be the perfect addition to this pie. So candied ginger, when you buy it, kind of looks like this. It's just pieces of ginger that are dried out and candied. So it's it's still ginger, so it still has a very strong flavor, but it has this amazing sweet flavor. And you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of it, and you're gonna chop it up really fine. Look at those cuties. And you want it fine because you don't want someone to get a big bite of ginger. That'll overpower the pumpkin. And you take this ginger and you sprinkle it all throughout the pie. I am telling you, Mr. Beard knew exactly what he was doing when he combined these flavors, and it is just an honor and a privilege, actually, to make his recipe. Okay, now, our little friend is gonna go in the oven between 30 and 40 minutes. There's so many factors. It depends on your own oven and how well the temperature calibrates. It depends on the weather. So what you want to do is you want to check it after 30, and if it's still super jiggly, keep it in there until it's more solidified. You don't want to overbake because that's when you get the cracks in your pie, which we may get because this is real. Anyway, into the oven it goes, and we'll be back when it's done. Our pie from 1963, courtesy of James Beard, is ready. And I will continue to give you more retro recipes along with their stories for your holiday table through the end of the year. Have you missed any? Got you covered. All right, are you ready to see this pie? Take a look. It is gorgeous. It has that gorgeous mahogany color, and oh my God, I'm telling you, you know we gotta cut into it. And of course, what would pie be without whipped cream? I do make my own. You don't have to. Those squirt bottles are fabulous. But if you want to make your own, I'll put the recipe down in the description. Okay, I can't wait any longer. It is time to cut into this pie. And I can just feel little cracks of ginger along my knife. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And of course I let it cool down. You never want to cut into a hot pie. This cooled for maybe about 45-50 minutes. It's room temperature. You don't want a cold pie. And look at that. Absolutely perfect. And of course, let's make it super perfect. There you go. James Beard's rich pumpkin pie with brandy and ginger and amazing warming spices. Oh, you gotta try it. It's so good, especially if you really want a pumpkin pie on your table. I highly recommend this one. And don't forget to visit Max and check out his pumpkin pie. If you would like to explore more dishes from your childhood or just the past, I invite you to subscribe. I release new videos every Tuesday and every Friday. In the meantime, here's some more retro dishes for you. Those are pretty good too. And remember, every dish, even rich pumpkin pie from one Mr. James Beard, has a story. I'll see you in the next video.